Hi, I'm Sam.
And I'm Miguel.
This is the Didn't Anyone Mention podcast.
Welcome back.
I guess, yeah. I've seen like
Have you ever heard of Spirit Lake?
You told me about Spirit Lake yesterday or today.
Huh?
You brought it up. You said somebody brought up something.
What? Today?
Yes, oh, this guy was telling me about Spirit Lake. But then, what did you say? You said that he couldn't say or something like that. You said a redditor said something.
Oh, yes. Okay. My bad. Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say that's the only time I ever heard,
Dude,
and I was just
you're
kind of like,
tripping me out. I was like, dude, there's no way my voice is that bad. Or my voice.
your memory.
My memory is that bad. Yeah, we had a comment on one of our YouTube videos by old Andrew P. He was talking about a story up in Spirit Lake, but something about I can't remember it. I can't remember it.
Yeah, you were like, you said something, and you were like, yeah,
Or
it,
he likes when we try to figure out how to
oh yeah,
pronounce things.
that's what it was. He was like, because I was like, he said he wasn't going to tell you, and I forgot why. But
Yeah.
yes, he said he wouldn't tell us the pronunciations because he likes hearing us hear it.
So I'll try my best.
He would have loved last week.
I know, right? So Spirit Lake. Okay. Besides Spirit Lake, besides that today, have you heard anything else about
No, is it in Idaho?
it? It's about, I think it's north of Coeur d'Alene.
Oh
It's probably
dang!
right along
I was
the
gonna say
freaking
right back
Canadian border.
Canada.
Canada, right along it. Um, no guesses.
No, I don't.
So it's a spooky,
Oh,
spooky.
spooky! Not even military.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not this time.
Okay.
So let's just get into it.
Yeah, I was gonna
Okay.
say, lay it
So
on me.
Spirit Lake gets its name from
Spirits.
spirits. Yeah.
Wow.
Long before settlers rolled in, the Coeur d'Alene tribe lived in the area, and their stories say the lake has always had an eerie vibe.
Ew. I hate that.
According to the tribal lore, this wasn't just a peaceful body of water, it was a place where souls lingered, a spiritual crossroads.
Dude,
Kind of
there are
spooky.
places like that around the
Right.
world.
So Spirit Lake is allegedly one of them.
Oh
The
my
original
gosh.
the original name for the lake was, oh man, Tessamini.
Tessamini?
Tessamini. How does
Tessamini.
that sound spooky?
Tessamini.
Tasmania devil. I'm gonna go with Tessamini. That sounds right.
Okay.
Which roughly translates to Lake of the Spirits. Um, and let's be honest here, if the locals call it that and they've been there forever,
I believe him.
yeah, I would.
Also, um, Native Americans, like, their biggest, like, thing was, like, being in tune with, like, their surroundings and, like, the earth.
Uh-huh.
I believe them.
Yeah,
If they
but
say
it's so
some big
funny.
ass body of water.
This was, I think, this came up on our first or second podcast we ever recorded, or maybe the third. I can't remember.
Okay.
But we were doing research, finding podcasts, and I came across an article where some guy was just saying, he's like, you tie Native American lore into anything and people believe it for some reason.
Yes, I remember you saying
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
you can say, oh, Native American, and then people will just believe it.
But I also think a lot of that has to do with they were indigenous to, like, the US. So yeah, they were the first. They were like the OGs. I would believe an OG. You know,
Mm, I suppose. I suppose.
I don't know. I'm gonna. If my grandpa says that there was freaking lava coming up on his property at one point in life, I believe him.
I think you absolutely would believe
Yeah, he's an OG. What can I say?
it. um, One of the most famous legends centered around this place is a tale of doomed love.
Oh no!
Way back in the day, a young Coeur d'Alene woman fell in love with a brave from a rival tribe.
Wow,
Classic Romeo and Juliet.
dang.
Their families were having none of it and forbade them from being together. In their desperation, the couple fled to the lake, planning to elope or maybe just leave entirely.
Mm-hmm.
But the lake had different plans. While paddling across the water in their canoe, it was a pretty shitty canoe from what I hear, a sudden, violent storm came out of nowhere. They say it was, the legend goes that it was nature throwing a tantrum over their forbidden love. Others whisper it was the spirits of the lake claiming their own. Either way, the couple drowned and their bodies were never found. To this day, locals claim to see a ghostly canoe gliding across the water every time there's a storm.
Spooky.
Yeah, right?
But what if they just made it seem like they were missing if they wanted to disappear? Because they never found their
Well,
bodies.
you're thinking too deeply about it.
Oh,
Actually, I don't know. That's a good point. But where, I mean, where else would you go?
they could go wherever they wanted to.
It's a good point. How did they find the canoe?
Yeah. They just found the canoe. I'd push the canoe back too. Because better have them think you're dead than go looking for you.
You know what? You might have just solved this whole case.
Watch a lot of crew triumphs. No, I'm joking.
Another legend from the lake.
I just don't like that lake's just hating on love.
Okay.
It's like let's let the homies be together. This is really nature's own tantrum. I could see it as nature's like crying because how messed up.
What he's gonna do, what they're gonna do.
No, like just like how messed up
It's
is like you bring this child into this world, you love them, and then you hate them because they chose to love and share their love with the world.
Mm.
Nature's like,
I was definitely
how
going
messed
another
up
way
is
with
that? How messed up is that, parents? You're disappointing.
Let it cry.
I'm gonna cry
I
about
will
it.
do your dirty work. Lightning on the canoe.
I don't know. I'm just devil's advocate.
Okay. Another spirit is the old lady of the lake. Super, super sad note here. Old ladies creep me out.
I know they're bony fingers.
I think they just
You
used
and
to-
your bony fingers, dude.
Yeah. Well, when I was doing HVAC, old ladies used to hit on me all the time.
No matter what, old ladies hit on you.
Yeah,
I think even when you were moving, they would hit on you.
Yeah. Mom, plug your ears if you're listening to this. I got a pee touch and a tip. Not like,
Oh,
yeah.
oh.
Well, I was
What
moving
kind of tip?
a picnic table. Actually, this is a story for the end of the podcast. I can't believe I'm going to tell this story. Anyways, okay. So, the old lady of the lake. Let's fast forward a bit. I can't believe I'm about to fucking tell this story. That's crazy. The old lady. I've said that 8 goddamn times. All right, I
Get it
gotta
out.
calm down.
Don't say it. Just say the lake.
The lake.
Okay.
Legend has it that a woman once lived alone on a cabin near the water. So this is another thing about Spirit Lake is that there's a bunch of abandoned buildings all around the lake.
Oh, that's awful.
Like not on the shoreline, but within I would say 10 miles all the way around. There's like a surprising amount of abandoned things around there, which is odd.
That's odd.
Right? But legend has it this lady lived near the lake, and she was an outcast of a kind.
A
Not
witch.
quite sure what her story was. Was she a healer, a recluse, maybe both? But when she died, she didn't really leave.
I mean,
Fishermen and campers have reported seeing an elderly woman on the shoreline, sometimes just staring out into the water, other times waving them away as if to warn them. When they go to check, there's no one there. And here's the best part. Some say her reflection shows up in the water, even when there's nobody on the shore.
that's awful. That's awful. I hate that.
Isn't it?
That's freaking awful.
Yeah. And now the lake itself. The water has its own creepy reputation as a whole. People say the lake whispers to them, not just the sound of wind or water lapping at the shore, but actual voices. They'll hear their name being called or soft, unintelligible murmurs that seem to rise up from the depths.
Maybe there's some sirens in there, dude.
Dude, there's a popular belief that the lake is cursed, pulling people in and keeping them. Swimmers sometimes feel sudden icy currents tugging at them, even on calm, sunny days. And more than a few folks have drowned in Spirit Lake under mysterious circumstances. There's one story of a 6-year-old boy that got caught up in weeds and drowned.
That's crazy.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. Reminds me of episode 3 of Supernatural, season 1.
Oh my gosh. Um, yeah.
That's so
Dude,
creepy.
I just remember like swimming in
Dude,
Cascade.
dude, in that seaweed,
Yeah, the
man.
seaweed goes
Ah,
up like,
it goes up to the surface.
yeah, and so you're swimming and
And
then it
it's
feels like
just,
something brushes your leg.
or it wraps
Oh,
around. Oh,
oh
that's
yeah.
the
Oh god,
worst.
dude. It's I
I
don't
hate
like it.
swimming in there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's awful.
Yeah. But even today, people report strange occurrences. Campers wake up to find their gear moved or hear footsteps circling their tents. Locals have spotted flickering lights over the water, like lanterns swaying away in the darkness. But when they investigate, there's nothing there. And if they're lucky, they might just see something, or unlucky.
I was going to say, or unlucky. I wouldn't want to see something.
Uh huh. Let's see here. Okay, I actually have a kind of first-hand encounter.
Tell me.
Do you want to listen to it, or do you want to hear it?
Just tell me.
Okay. It's kind of creepy. Like, I don't know if it's true or not, but
Okay.
it's freaking creepy. So
Okay.
this was all written out for me.
Okay.
Um, I'll never forget that night. It was me, Cassie, Jay, and Trevor. We were bored out of our minds, so naturally Trevor suggested that we go camping in Spirit Lake. He was always talking a big game. Wait, I think that was a separate one. No, this is the right one.
Okay.
So Trevor being Trevor, he thought we should go camping and it'd be fun to go camp there. We started talking about ghosts. Ghosts aren't real. And as we drove up, he said people just freak themselves out.
Mm-hmm.
Ghosts aren't real.
Yeah.
Spirit Lake is not.
You just get in your head, and yeah. I get it. I get what you're saying.
Cassie rolled her eyes, yeah. And we're about to be the idiots in the ghost story. Cassie's the one that's scared, I guess.
Yeah.
We get to the lake late. First of all, why are you going camping late? I don't know, bro.
Dude, I don't like getting there late. You gotta set up.
Right. They get to the lake late, set up their gear on the shore, and build a fire. While it was normal, they had s'mores, jokes, nothing crazy. But after an hour, Cassie froze. Did you hear that? Oh fuck, dude, I'm getting chills. They all went quiet. At first, it was nothing. Then came a faint splash. Oh fuck, dude, getting chills. Like something heavy hitting the water.
Oh no.
Probably just a fish, Jay
Yeah.
said, but
They
he
jump.
didn't really sound convinced. Yeah, a fish with a canoe, Cassie said. She was staring at the water now, and her face was all pale. We turned, and then when we saw it, a faint light floating out of the lake like a lantern. And Jay called, "Who's out there?" But nobody said anything. It's probably a fisherman. That's what Trevor said. He grabbed a flashlight and said, "I'll go check it out." First of all,
Nah, dude.
Trevor, don't do that, Cassie said. But he was already at the shoreline. I mean, they were on the shore.
Yeah.
As soon as his light hit the water, the lantern broke, like it blinked out. It was done. See? Nothing. That's what Trevor said. Then he came back. And then it came back closer, the lantern on the water.
Dude, Trevor, you made it mad.
Dude. They all stood by the light as it slowly glided closer and closer to Trevor. Then they heard a voice that said Trevor.
That's awful.
Dude. And Trevor freaked out. He turned around and he said, "You guys hear that?" And they all said, "Yeah, we heard it." Oh, God, I hate reading this story. But before Trevor could move, the water exploded. This is where it gets a little crazy. A pale skeletal hand shot out, followed by a face ghostly, hollowed eyes and wet hair clinging to its skin. They tried to get Trevor.
Grab him.
They
Oh.
ran. They didn't pack. They just pure adrenaline, and they went back to Trevor's Jeep. He didn't even grab the flashlight. We didn't talk much on the drive back, but 2 days later, Trevor called me. Dude, I found something in the Jeep. And that's it.
What do you find in the Jeep?
The lantern.
Oh man. Spooky.
Dude, yeah. And that's where the guy says, he's like, I haven't been to the lake since. This just freaks me out. I don't know if I believe most of it until
He said he
shut
found.
up.
Yeah. Yeah. Dang, that's awful. That's so awful. Yeah, I wouldn't. That's the other thing. You don't have to like want to be a part of the spirits, like want to talk to them, but you don't need to make fun of them either.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, you just leave them alone.
Would you ever go to Spirit Lake?
No.
Already decided?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't even.
No.
All right.
Maybe in the daytime I can swing by it, but like, nah.
All right. Well, now time for. Well, do you have any questions for me before?
No, that was pretty good. I liked you're into these lakes recently, so I like it. It's good.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I guess, just bodies of water freak people out.
Yeah, I get it. Like, think about the ocean.
That's right. Last week I did Pandoria
Mm-hmm.
or Ponderay,
Nutriment.
which is also North Idaho.
That's what I'm saying. You've
Yeah,
been
it's
like,
crazy,
it
huh?
was literally Coeur d'Alene, so I was like, dang, you're going right there.
Okay. I think I promised you guys a story.
You did. And I will say, right now, Miguel flirts with old ladies, so
I don't flirt with old ladies.
he's just like boosts their ego a little bit.
I do.
Keep them young and spry.
Yeah,
It's like
they're fun.
It's like what you doing there, cutie?
I definitely don't call them kitties. So, all right, here's the story. So, summer of 2017, 16,
No, it was like
2018,
19. Yeah.
or 2019, yeah.
Yeah.
Summer 2019. I was a spree little bean sprout. Spry little bean sprout. I took on a job in Moscow, Idaho, where I was a mover. We were moving, we were moving people from house to house. It was hard work. Anyways, there was this one house over in. They were in Moscow. We were moving them to Ellensburg, Washington. I remember everything. Well, we showed up to their house, and it was a pretty big house. And me and my coworker, his name was Donnie, we just got to work, started throwing stuff into the semi, throwing stuff in. We get to a point where there's a picnic table, right? And the whole family is outside because it's nice. In Moscow in the summer, it gets like 80, 85.
It's like nice outside.
Yeah, it's nice outside, right? So I can't remember the lady's name, but I was like, do you want this to go too? And she was like, oh, yeah, let's take that. So Donnie gets on one side, and the lady's on my right side, and I grab the table. Okay, I'm already holding it. I'm already holding the table, like palms up, holding this thing. And she's like, oh, I can help. And she reaches over, like, and just grabs my nuts. Like, doesn't even go for the table. Just, like, full on reaches just straight to my dick. Like, there was no, like, oops. She just went in, squeezed my giblets. And then she's like, then that was it. And then I remember I kind of got flustered. And I looked up at my coworker, Donnie, and he's like trying to walk backwards. And I'm like, oh, the girl just touched my dick. Like, what happens now?
I don't mean to laugh because that's like not okay. But like, oh my gosh.
Anyways, we finished moving, and this whole thing's happening, and I'm like keeping my distance from this lady. But
you're just too nice to the old lady, dude.
no, dude. Anyways, we get into the semi to drive to Ellensburg because we have to move them same day. And I tell Donnie, and I'm like, dude, she like grabbed my dick. And Donnie looks at me and he goes, oh, you got a pee touch and a tip? And she gave us $40. I think it was hush money. I think she gave me hush money. And I took it. She gave me $40. She gave Donnie $40. I think it was hush money. But yeah, Donnie was
I think
like,
it would have
you
been
got a
hush
tip?
money if you got 40 and he got 20.
Yeah, I mean, could have been. Maybe that's what she said. Give him 60. You 20. But you know what? We split it. You never know. But I remember Donnie was pumped about it. Yeah.
He's like, you put in work for that one.
Yeah. He's like, got a pee touch and a tip. I remember that. And I was like, yeah, I guess. He's like, hell yeah. He's a wild dude. He had like 3 Red Bulls in the morning.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. He's a wild dude. Good dude, though. Anyways, that's my weird story for the day.
Yeah. I remember you came home and you're like, I don't even know how I need to tell you something. And I was kind of like, are you okay? You're like, dude, this was the weirdest thing that I think has ever happened to me.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, when it's an accident and they're like, oh, I'm sorry. This was no accident. Like, it was just, man, she went straight for it. Wow, she was very direct. Yeah.
Dang.
It was calculated.
She was like, I can get like,
Honestly, predatorial.
yeah. She's lucky you weren't a minor, dude.
It was.
No, you weren't.
Yeah.
No, you weren't. What do you think? You're a minor under like 22?
How old was I?
You were like 21.
That's pretty close. You're right, dude. But I did look young, you know, I shaved my beard. If she thought I was a minor, that would make it so much worse.
That would make it a lot worse. But I mean, she's like, you know what? I'm moving to a different city.
Yeah.
I gotta have a side piece in a different city.
Well, if you are listening from Ellensburg, Washington, you have a predator amongst you.
A predatorial.
Yeah. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you.